Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela where we help digital nomads, entrepreneurs, expats, investors, travelers, and related internationals. Today we're talking about real estate flipping here in Venezuela. I have quite some experience on that, so I want to share a couple of tips for you. First, how is the Venezuelan real estate market going on? First, like on all major nations, on every nation, the real estate market depends on regional circumstances, regional markets. For instance, in the United States, not the same the Miami, South Florida market that the Boise, Idaho market. Two completely different markets on the same country. Same thing here in Venezuela. In most places here in Venezuela, the real estate market is depressed in many parts. However, on major cities, the market is being an upward trend of recovery. We are not seeing those cheap deals that you might have found out on the internet. Houses at $5,000, $10,000. You still might find those are pretty rare and in some markets. The most important real estate markets here in Venezuela are, of course, Caracas, my market, Lecheria, on the Anzoátegui state. Also, Valencia, major city on the west side of Venezuela. Also, Margarita Island is the de facto tourist destination, the main tourist destination here in Venezuela. And lastly, we can put Maracaibo. Maracaibo is kind of depressed at the moment, still it's one of the major cities in Venezuela. In fact, it's the second largest city and second most populated city here in Venezuela. So, know your market, know your local market, know your budget or what you're going to do, and then start putting some execution. The second thing you have to consider is the kind of property that you want to purchase in order to sell it as quick as you can. If you are buying a 2-bed, 3-bed apartment and you probably is the quickest kind of property that you want to resell. Of course, we also have these large homes, we have office space, we have some commercial stores, we have warehouses, we have farmland, we have some properties retired for, let's say, tourism on the beach. Those are, if they're pretty big, are slower to liquidate, to sell, so you have to keep that in mind. The third thing that I want to talk is about the cost, the investment that you're going to do on such properties. Unlike the United States and many parts of the world where they do this flipping, and you see this on reality television, where they buy a property, they turn the house down, and basically do it from scratch, and they do a new kitchen and a new deck yard, or you name it. They do this massive renovation work and then spend a lot on these renovations. In Venezuela, in most cases, is not going to be profitable because properties are quite cheap for international standards, and those renovations are going to be expensive here in Venezuela. And at least, on a purchase parity base measurement. The thing is that you don't want to spend that much. You don't want to buy a property that is a complete, crap. I'm sorry the word. But also you don't want to buy these lavishing furnished properties with a beautiful countertop kitchen, because usually they're not profitable. What many people do here in Venezuela, or they used to do, is they buy a property, they spend a lot of this on this renovation, on these lavishing renovations, and at the end they overspend. They want to recoup that money, they want to recover that money on the final price. However, that's not going to be the case because they overspend on these renovations, at the end they have to sell on a loss if they want to sell. And most people are stubborn enough that they don't even sell, just keep this property on use, and they lost their investment. So that's what I don't recommend to do in Venezuela. What I do recommend is buying an operational unit, something that has a fully operational kitchen, bathrooms that are fully operational, they have AC units, whatever. Doesn't have to be a fancy property, however, they have to be operational, and that's your best chance to resell such property on a high markup, on a decent markup, or even a profit. But that's your best choice, just to buy an operational property. And lastly, I'm gonna explain what will be the case if you want to buy a property, do some renovations, do expenses on the renovations, and then sell it for a profit. This mostly occurs on high-end properties here in Venezuela. So what you want to do is buy a property on a high-end area, buy it below market value, and do some renovations. Don't go all in, don't all out on these renovations, but spend on good materials, on good finishes, on quality, mostly on quality work, and then you might be able to resell the property, that property on a profit, on a cost-based analysis, and get your money back, of course, with a healthy profit. Also, most of the fancy properties or places or amenities that you see in Venezuela, and actually you see on my channel, I make videos about $500,000 properties, $1 million properties. Most of these properties, you have to remember, these properties are lifestyle investments. So you're gonna buy it in order to enjoy such property, and if you're gonna resell it on the future, you might break even or even lose a little bit of money. Of course, you have all the time spent on such property. So keep that in mind, because I'm seeing many people on social media, they think they are going to buy these properties on $500,000 and then resell it for $1 million. That's not going to happen. So keep that in mind and be aware of that. Thank you again for watching Venezuela Insider or listening to the podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to keep you guys updated on further news and further content. Thanks again. Have a nice day.